to Graphics with Julia Child. Today we're going to learn all about the Bezier tool. Oh hey, I spent all of the special effects budget on tequila. So, hey, this lesson we're going to learn all about the Bezier tool, and who better to teach you about the best French tool ever than the best French chef ever, right? Oh, absolutely right, John. Okay, so let's get started, huh? Okay, here we are in Inkscape, and I'm going to press the 5 key just to be sure that my document is filling the screen, my page is filling the screen, and is centered. Then I'm going to go over here on the right hand side and turn off the or disable the snap feature. I don't like that. It gets in my way. Then I'm going to bring up an image. I'm going to create a design with a very specific bottle, one that's recognizable, and I just can't find a graphic or a vector graphic of this bottle anywhere online, so I'm going to have to design it myself. So I'm going to the File menu, and I'm going to choose Import. And here I have the image of my bottle that I want. And I'm going to choose Default Import Resolution. Okay, that brings in my image. Just going to bring it up here, holding down the Control key, dragging that little arrow to change the size. Just put it right there in the middle so it's easy to work with. Okay. Next up, I want to put this on a template layer. So I'm going to have to create this template layer. So I'll come up here next to the T and press this little icon. Looks like a stack of pages. That's our View Layers command. All right, there we go. And by default, every document has a layer 1 built in. Okay. Now, I want to rename that layer to make it something that I can recognize. So I'll double click on that, and I'm just going to call it template. That sounds good. Pressing the Enter key to accept that change. Then the little lock icon right between the eyeball and the name there, that little lock icon, click on that, and that's going to lock this down so that I can't accidentally move it or change it or edit it. Okay. Just in case you're wondering, that little eyeball icon, we'll turn that off and on so that I can enable and disable the layer. We'll be doing that quite a few times here in a minute. Next thing I want is a layer on which to draw. So I'll click the Create New Layer button. I'll call this Bottle. Make sure the position is set to above current and click Add. Okay. Now, I can draw, create my drawing and stuff on this, but it's going to be kind of hard to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go back to my template layer, and I'm going to adjust the opacity down to about 35, 30, somewhere in there. Okay, looking good. All right, now getting my arrow tool, and I'm going to get my Bezier tool and zoom in on the bottle where I want to begin. So since this object is symmetrical, I can do a shortcut. I only have to draw one side of the bottle. Then we can take that path, duplicate it, flip it, and stitch it together. So I'm going to zoom in here so I can see what I'm doing. Now there are multiple ways to use this Bezier tool. I find though that as a beginner, it's easier to begin by laying down your nodes and then reshape those line segments later. Let me show you what I mean. Every time you click the mouse with your line tool, by the way, you need to be on the bottle layer or nothing's going to happen. Every time you click the mouse with your Bezier tool, you're going to see one of these little squares. That's called a node. And we want to place a node any place where we want the line or the shape to change directions. For example, right here is a good place for a node. And then we might put another one here, and then here. And don't worry that these are straight lines. Again, we'll come back and change and fix them later. We'll finesse them into shape, just using my space bar to move to pan around here. I'll put another node there. I'm zooming out a little bit, and maybe I have another node here, and here, and here, just kind of lining that up with the one on the top. Okay, now to accept this or to finalize this drawing, I'll press the Enter key. And there you can see my line segment. And you know, that could be an interesting shaped bottle right there, but we wouldn't be properly learning the Bezier tool if we didn't also learn the Edit Nodes tool. So come up here to your toolbar, and right below the arrow tool, you'll see the Edit Paths by Nodes, also the F2 key. Okay, now let's zoom in, Control and scroll wheel, and I can finesse these line segments into place just by clicking on them and dragging them into position. Okay, zoom out a little bit. All right, maybe I need to move this one down. Okay, maybe that one down a little bit here. Drag that out. And you can see how that's just takes a little bit of finesse. We'll drag this one out to here. Now this particular node here, I want it to be a curve. And if I leave it as is, it will have a little notch in there and it just won't look organic. So I'm going to click there, and up here on my presets bar, I have my properties bar, I have some presets for nodes. And this one will make selected nodes smooth right here. Okay, and you'll see that that node changed shape. And now, looky there, look how that keeps it a smooth shape regardless of how or what position I put that in. Let's scroll out a little bit. All right, coming down here. Pull that out a little bit. Let's make this a smooth node also. Okay, now it looks like we're done. So let me press the Escape key a couple times. Then I'm going to turn off my template layer by poking it in the eyeball right here, and I can admire my work. Hey, looking pretty good. So now let's get our arrow tool, selecting my node. Now I'm going to flip this. Oh, excuse me, not going to flip that. I need to duplicate first. So let's go to the Edit menu and choose Duplicate. Now I can flip it. I'm holding down my Control key to constrain my movements onto a straight line, and I'm going to drag it over and line it up approximately there. Now, not all of the lines are lining up, but again, this is going to be a graphic, and we want symmetry here in this particular situation. So now what I'm going to do is, let me just deselect so you can see what's going on. You can see my two line segments. I'll turn that off so you can see what I've got here. And now I need to join these two and these two. So Control A is going to select all. I'll get my Nodes tool, and I'm going to select, there's 4 nodes here that I want to select all at once. So I'm going to use the rubber band method by clicking and dragging a rubber band or a box or a marquee, they're all the same thing there, around those 4 nodes. They all become selected. Then up here on my properties bar, I have this preset, Join Selected Nodes. Okay, now watch close. Presto, look at that. It's all one segment. Isn't that neat? Okay, gonna select that again, F1, arrow tool. And now what I want to do is I want to put the cork up there on that bottle. Now, lucky me, that cork is a perfect circle. So I'll just come over here, grab the circle tool, draw myself a quick circle. I'm holding down the Control key to constrain its proportions, pressing F1 to get the arrow tool. Now I'm just going to drag it into place. Hey, look at that, I got it the first time. Now I have my circle, and I've got my cork and my bottle together there. And that could look neat depending upon your design, but that's not what I'm wanting here. I want it to be all one silhouette of the bottle. Okay, so I'm going to select all, I'm going to go to the Path menu and choose Union. And there you have it. Okay, I want to fill this in with color now. Going down to the bottom of the screen, we have our tool palette, and you can scroll through the tool palette using the scroll wheel. A single left click on any one color will adjust the fill color, and holding down the Shift key while you click on a color will adjust the adjust the stroke color. All right. Now, right now you can't really see the stroke on that line because it's so small. So let's bring up the fill and stroke palette by going up to the top of the menu, the window, and clicking the Edit Objects, Colors, Gradients, Areas, blah, 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 blah button. All right. And that's going to bring up this window here. Now, it may not come up automatically with stroke style. It may say fill or stroke paint or stroke style. But click on the stroke style tab here, and let's adjust this width. Now, you have options. You can set it to centimeters, points, picas, pixels, inches, millimeters, or percentage. I'm going to leave it at millimeters for now, and I'm just going to put in a, let's call it a 2. How's that? Looks good.
That's gonna do it for me, Julia Child. I hope you enjoyed using the Bezier tool. Until next time, Boon Epigraphic or something.
Bye.